That is what happens to our mind also.
Oh, that's right. It was my mind.
So
Okay.
ask yourself, are you just listening to me and gather the information and that is all? Or that information translates into knowledge and the knowledge changes the behavior and attitude. That is what is Eastern wisdom is. Sophie asked a good question, but I will just repeat. Like we discussed, listening and learning, constant listening and learning, regular listening and learning changes the mind from attachment and detachment to freedom from attachment and detachment. It is an emotional freedom. Oh, I get a clue. Oh, that is the way I should have behaved. That changes the mind. So first change in the mind is that you are neither too much attached nor too much detached with anyone. One couple is sitting here, so I'm telling you openly. And that sense of emotional freedom leads to a state of dispassion. Dispassion, dispassion, we say, oh, you are a free bird. So a sense of freedom goes into your head. You don't get carried away by emotional dependence. That is one of the most important reason, or I would say the major reason for conflict with the near and the dear ones. So you have a dispassion, and that dispassion makes your mind free. Every day you wake up in the morning and you are totally free. You need not to worry about anything because unwanted, unwelcome thoughts do not stay in your mind. That makes you a seeker, and if you continue the journey, we reach to an enlightenment. These are the primary, most major reasons to succeed in the journey. Now, what changes takes place that I have covered in the next sutra, Vidya Dadati Vinayam, a sense of humility takes over you. Normally, a sense of arrogance and I know what you are talking about. So, to learn the principles of the Eastern wisdom, a sense of humility is required. Humility means receptivity. Receptivity means, oh, I didn't know that. And now I know. And when I know, my mind has calmed down. It becomes more receptive. And that receptivity assimilates the knowledge, results into a qualified seeker. And a qualified seeker gives us the inner wealth. Inner wealth, the sense of the calmness, I can easily withdraw from a difficult situation in the world outside. Normally, we withdraw ourselves with a big face if we know that we cannot win. And we become the boss of a situation if we feel the opponent is very weak. Or it may be in the family, it may be in the society. Are you understanding, Charlie? Yes, Charlie says yes. So that is the inner wealth. And the inner wealth also helps your mind to see clearly what you are doing in terms of your thought, speech, and action with in the world outside. And that is a kind of a religious attitude. I'm not talking about religion, and the way the religion is understood is totally wrong. So you start doing what is right to do. You don't do what you like to do, even if it is wrong. You don't do it. That clarity comes to you. Now, what happens, for that, we need a tremendous focus. Karkachesta. Focus means here, focus like a crane means when the crane focuses to catch the fish in a river, the crane is relaxing. When we focus, we have a tremendous pressure. I can't focus, I'm distracted. We don't need that kind of a focus. So this focus comes with clarity and conviction by understanding what we are doing. And before that, the effort like a crow. Hard is the sleep like a dog means you are alert and aware. Difficult situation comes, you are alert and aware. You are enjoying the pleasure, you're taking a drink and you have taken 3 drinks and you start abusing everyone. No, that you loss of alert and awareness. So here, the sleep like a dog means you live into that state of alertness and awareness, so that you don't get too much engaged in the situation, in the condition, in any relationship. You can easily withdraw yourself. That sense of awareness and alertness is required. Three qualities, and the fourth is, it helps in our daily life. It helps our personal and professional life also. Think of it. And then Alpahari. So we check that, are we overeating or are we eating the stuff that puts me into sleepiness, dizziness? No, it means it will affect the mind. So I take care of that. And the last one is that the filtering the thoughts, oh, this John is like this. No, I need not to think about it. Let me keep my mind free. No, I met with him and then he created that. No, not interested. Remain totally free. Don't allow the mind to get obsessed with any kind of the thoughts about a person, event, incident. Otherwise, it will constantly create the ripples of the thoughts. And when you meet John, then you start. You already know what I want to say. Come back. So now we are understanding the first 4 questions. I told you, you have to think of it. Think, I would say, I have been saying it, that you think and contemplate, even for 5 to 10 minutes every day. What exactly is the goal of life? And you come to a decision that the goal of life is only one. That is self-discovery. And that goal of life includes your means. That means is the wealth. That means is the pleasure. That means it follow what is right and good. The goal of life, of self-discovery, is all inclusive. But the moment you make your goal of life is either the wealth or the pleasure, it is going to backfire. It is going to create different frame of the mind. Then what is the common desire? So to add value to the first question, Master says, what is the common desire of all the human beings? And I have discussed in detail that peace, I'm seeking peace because peace is my nature. Happiness is my nature. That's why I'm seeking peace and happiness. If I'm in stress, then there is nothing to seek. I'm already in stress. Well, the modern science says that this is an age of anxiety. Age of anxiety. That's right. So now the third question is, what is the end of the suffering and permanent happiness? This is what we said. It is a single word, Nirvana, salvation, etc., etc. Now we are what? So third question. We have many sub questions. What are the sub questions? Third question. So what we say, it is the end of suffering and permanent happiness is awakening and realization. So you should answer to your mind when you have this question, how by the knowledge we end suffering? How by the knowledge? So last time we discussed that there are two types of knowledge, indirect knowledge and direct knowledge. I think most of them you are clear. Say yes. That how you get indirect knowledge and how you get direct knowledge. So now there are further sub questions. Because if I do not fix the goal of life, I cannot receive the direct knowledge. It means if I have not fixed the goal of life is the self discovery, then my mind is thinking of other things. Then my mind says, no, I have urgent work to do. I will not attend this session. It has been enough now. And what you are doing, you are crazy there. And you don't recognize it. Just after the session, I will teach a lesson to my honey. It has been a long time. So your goal of life is changed. So it means that knowledge cannot become direct. Are you getting it? We are not ready to change our behavior. So that is what is required. Now, another aspect. Another aspect is that what do you mean by permanent happiness? The master answers that I am permanent happiness. I am not seeking happiness, but I am happiness that I have to rediscover. I'm not searching love, but I am love. And those people who have anxiety cannot find the love, neither in their near and dear ones nor in themselves. Because they claim that they are in anxiety, they are stressed. Are you getting it? So this is another sub question that is answered. So now see another part that is very important to understand. In the same third major question, where is the end of what is the end of suffering? And where is permanent happiness, love, and wisdom? What we are talking about the real self that we are. Not very difficult to understand, but what I'm saying is that when we are talking of that, what is the goal of life? Self discovery. What is the self? That real self is me. I am the real self. What we are thinking, what we are now, I am stressed. I become crazy at times. Do you agree with me? Other people become crazy all the time. I become crazy at some time. Either you become crazy at some time, you're crazy. Are you getting it? So our mind, because of a heavy conditioning by the society, by our religion, by our culture, by our education, we claim what we are is wrong. So the master says, the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom says, can you start reclaiming that I am the real self? I'm going slowly. I'm answering that I'm explaining one sub question that this master has raised and answered. When I am peace and happiness, then I am beyond the experience present in me. Then I am beyond the doer in me. So now another question comes, what do you mean by that? I'm not the doer. Am I the speaker? Yes or no? So for the sake of convenience, you say yes. But now the master is helping us to go deeper inside. Am I really a speaker? Oh, is the body, the mouth, the tongue, and the larynx are speaking with a modulation of the breath? Where is the speaker in me? Where is the listener in you? There is neither a listener nor a speaker. And if there is a speaker, it is the I thought, it is the ego, and it is the same I thought in you who is a listener and a speaker. The real self is behind the speaker and the listener. I had a wonderful lunch. I took whatever you want to take, chicken, pasta, etc., etc. So it gives me the pleasure. So then I start searching whether the pleasure is present in the pasta or a chicken or it is present in me. Now I experience inside my mind. Oh, so it means the pleasure is not in the chicken or the pasta. So first thing is clear, the world is not the place of any kind of a pleasure at all. Now it comes to the mind. Is the mind the source of pleasure? And if mind is the source of the pleasure, then why I have a mood swing, why I get into stress, why I fall into anxiety, why I react, why I fight, why I'm angry. So all these contents are present in the mind. It means mind cannot be the source of pleasure. But I experience it. I experience mirage water also. As you approach to the mirage water, it is not there. While driving, you see the highways is running behind you. That you experience. That is also false. We see the waves in the ocean. The waves, in fact, is the water. So now we start going little deeper. So that is how we need to question ourselves at each step. So what it says that if you that doership, if you find who is this I, who is this claims that he is a speaker, he's a thinker, he's the doer, he's the enjoyer, and then you can, if you understand it clearly, it helps you to drop that, and behind that, the real self is present. Not very deep, but it's a simple. Are you getting it? So there comes the principle. What principle? There comes the principle that the science understands the real and the unreal. They have two factors, what is truth and what is untruth. They have an experimental protocol, whether you take any branch of the science. So they say what is real and unreal. There are two divisions. We have three divisions. Where is the third division? Unreal means that does not exist, non-existent. So can you say mirage water is non-existent? No. I see it, I experience it. But can you say it is real? No, I cannot say it is real. So we created the Eastern wisdom understands the third entity, which is false. One is unreal, non-existent. One is real, always existent. Third, which appears real but is unreal. What appears real? Mirage water. Fact, it is unreal. But it still appears real. Through my eyes, I see the highways is running behind me when I am driving. I experience it. So now tell me, is experience greater than knowledge or knowledge is greater than experience? I know you have already answered. If you have answered knowledge is greater than your experience, then you are on the right path. My experience with that guy was so terrible. I had negative vibrations about that person. They have become a great, what you can say, astrologer or whatever you say. So my experience fools me. I have to arrive at a knowledge. False. The third principle is very important in understanding the Eastern wisdom. Now, define false. I can define false. Anything that is constantly changing is false. Are you dwelling in the same body that you had at the time of the birth? Answer is no. Every 7 years, every cell is replaced in this body. I do not carry this body. If I'm 49, I have this body has been replaced by 7 times. Can I say I am the body? That is one definition of false. But when I look into the mirror, I see that I'm the most beautiful. You're most beautiful. You see your body, you don't see yourself. Are you clear? We need to have that awareness in order to search the real self. So first definition of, now I'm defining mithya. Mithya means false. That is constantly changing is false. Second definition. That does not have an independent existence. That is made up of parts. Parts and pieces. Can you show your body? Body is made up of parts. When I say you show me your body, you point out here. No, this is your head. This is your chest. This is your arm. Show me your body. Body does not exist. Body appears to exist, but does not exist. Another definition, if we want to find the real self, then the difference between the real self and the false self is that, what is? It does not have an independent existence. Understand this. So body as such is made up of the parts. Each part is made up of the matter. What is matter? Carbohydrate, protein. Right? Carbohydrate, protein, fat, minerals. And these carbohydrate, fat, and minerals, you can fragment into parts. They are made up of different elements. Element is made up of electron, proton, and neutron. Electron, proton, neutron is made up of energy. Energy does not have a consciousness. So I am consciousness. So consciousness is different than the body. Hence, I am not the body. Body is my instrument, but I am not the body. The first definition, that is constantly changing. Second definition, that is made up of the parts. And the third is, that appears true. That gives me as if it is a real life experience. But the fact is, that experience can be dropped by understanding what is right knowledge. That appears true, but it is not true. That appears real, but it is not real. Think, contemplate, and reflect. Nothing to believe. It's a matter of fact. Now, fourth, that false is the projection of the real self. Projection. That is another definition. So keep in your mind that definition and say, oh, he abused me. And instantly you remember, oh, he looked at me. Looked at me means he looked at the body. Oh, so he abused the body. He abused the matter. He abused the element. He abused the energy. Chill out. You are totally relaxed. You're not affected. Charlie has started thinking how many people have. No, just understand that. So when you understand that, when you live into that awareness, your behavior and attitude change. You are not ready to react. And when you don't react, that is a tremendous change in your behavior and attitude. By understanding what is real, I have yet to know the real, but I know what is false, which is clearly evident to me, and what is unreal. So the moment you start separating them in your day-to-day life, you will find the mind calms down. The mind is filled with a lot of unwanted stuff. Do you agree? So that unwanted stuff is because I claim that the false is real. Same thing, that you experience stress and suffering, that is unreal. That is false. You experience it, but still it is false. So when I reach to a point of understanding that it is false, there is no stress and suffering, like it is a mirage water. And that is why I covered last year that we are not worthy of suffering. You enjoyed that session, but you did not imbibe that session. Sometimes we enjoy. What a good talk, he's giving, we are not worthy of suffering. We start flying in dreaming. But unless we realize it, it is not going to happen. We have to prove in our life. So that comes to an end of the third major question. Third major question, and then we will understand what is the fourth major question. Fourth major question, what brings that nirvana or the spiritual life, that we will take up in our next lesson. Close your eyes and be comfortable. And as if you have been uncomfortable listening to me. So it is not that, don't see that way. So be comfortable, eyes are closed. Eyes are closed. Gently, do not squeeze your eyes, and check your body is aligned. So that being comfortable is the awareness of the body without any preferences makes you comfortable. And still I say that look at the body, look at the neck joint, look at the neck joint. Be there. Feel the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Look inside again. Look inside again. And you see the space. Space is awareness. And awareness. It takes a fraction of a millisecond to move the mind into that space. But if it is not happening, the mind is still learning. It will take some time. To look at the shoulder joint, sensation, comfort, and steadiness, space. Space is awareness, and awareness is space. Entire body from the top to the toes, awareness, of your experience of sensation, comfort, and steadiness. And then space is awareness, and awareness is space. Now being carefree, the thoughts are coming and going, unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. They are far from you. Another way to look at these thoughts, you see what you see, know, feel is different from you. How they are different from you? One is the knower and other is the known. What is known? When you see the thoughts are known. And who sees? I, you say, I see them. So it means I, as a seer, is different from the thoughts that you see. So when I'm already different from the traffic that I see while standing across the road, I see these unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. I always see at a distance in the mind. It is happening in the mind. So when I already see, when I see them at a distance, means what? I am none of these unwanted, unwelcome, unwelcome thoughts. And still there is a mixing up. What we discussed today, if we do not examine all our experiences, whether they are real or false, we fall into projections that causes the stress and the suffering. And that is what happens all the time. Who does this? Mind. That is the problem. So why that problem? Because of the impurity of the mind. What is the impurity of the mind? Unwanted, unwelcome, unwelcome thoughts. Plus, plus idea of a hate, likes and dislikes, reactions and anxiety, stress in the duality. So for a temporary time, we want to keep it away. We want to create a sense of emptiness. So there are many ways to do it, and one way that we have been doing it is by the breathing. So you look inside the forehead. Very good. So when you see the space, you say Shantoham. Shantoham means I am the peace. So you keep on doing this and start breathing quick and gentle breath from the chest. Continue breathing, continue. and stop it. Do nothing. So when you do nothing, you experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Look at the body from the top of the head to the toes. Recognize the sensation, accept those sensations, and check if we are in the state of sensation, relaxation, and stillness. So that helps us. Again, every experience helps us, and we move away from one experience to the higher experience to the highest level, and we even drop that highest experience in order to find the real self. Now, in that state, start deep, silent, and slow breath. How? First, look at the breath. Look at the breath and watch it. Watch its movement. Watch its movement, its relationship to the rib cage or the belly. Some of you may find that when you inhale, your chest or rib cage or the belly rise, and some of you will find it falls. So just check it. Enjoy that experience of movement of the belly and the chest with every inhalation and exhalation. When we are sure, then we change the breath. How to change the breath? Slowly. You make the breath little deeper, deeper, then also silent and slow. So every inhalation and exhalation is silent, deep, silent and slow. Now we have to give a direction to the mind by the deep, silent, and slow breathing. First, check you are doing deep, silent, and slow breathing in the state of being comfort and steadiness, my friends. In that state, now we need to give a direction to the mind. So, how we give the moment you breathe in, the moment you breathe in, the mind moves from the top of the head to the tailbone in the spine. Is moving just with an awareness. And when you exhale, the mind moves from the tailbone to the top of the head. It gives rise to a new experiences. And but our objective is to move the mind within. What is the meaning of mind moving within? We rise in awareness. What do you mean by rise in awareness? So that we can accept what is real. You see that in every session, I translate what we discuss into practice. So if you repeat practice at your home for 6 days before we meet, what happens? Your mind is more receptive. So the first direction we gave to the mind is the top of the head to the tailbone, and from the tailbone to the top of the head. We add another dimension. You start singing Om Shanti mentally. Om Shanti, while mind moves with the breath during inhalation and exhalation. So we engage the mind deeper inside, means higher inside. That is the purpose. Continue. Breath is deep, silent, and slow. Mind moves with your breath in the spine from the top of the head to the tailbone, from the tailbone to the top of the head, and every time you're mentally singing. So, very singing in your mind also engages the mind, keeps your mind away from unwanted and unwelcome thoughts. And now leave the breath, deep silent, slow breath. Return to normal breathing. Return to normal breathing with Om Shanti. With every breath, you simply drop there. You drop there, and with every breath going in and out. No, do nothing. So when you are doing nothing, you are aware. Awareness is knowledge. Knowledge is your experience. So in that state of awareness, that knowledge and that experience may be real. I'm just saying, maybe. Instead of having an experience in ignorance. Every experience in ignorance need to be examined in life. Um, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes and sight. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences. And if you have any question, how are you, Sophie?
Hello, Girish. I am good, but I think I went sometimes into an unconscious state, like
Unconscious.
because I didn't hear you say do deep long breaths,
Okay.
and I didn't do it.
Yeah,
But
it
that's okay.
happens.
I feel good.
It
Thank
happens.
you.
It is because of where we lost awareness. Simply, we lost awareness, and then it means that we fell into sleep or unconscious, or we were carried away by some images or a thought or a feeling.
Mm.
So that is not there. So it is simply
Yes.
falling into unconscious sleep. So, but regular practice, it removes it.
Yeah, yeah.
How are you, Mead?
That was a very deep journey for me.
Good.
Oh, something so pure was happening,
So pure.
so pure that you were.
So promise yourself you remain pure from today now.
Pardon?
Promise to yourself that you should be pure from now onward.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
So these and these experiences definitely helps, gives a new perspective to the life. And how are you, Charlie? You have such a huge. It is in your office.
There we go. Can you hear me okay?
It looks so huge.
Yeah. Yes,
I should set up my program there. I think.
it's in the basement. It's my husband's got like 3 screens. It's it's massive.
Okay. It is because of that 3 monitors.
Exactly. So it looks like I'm not looking at you, but I actually am.
Okay.
This was good today. I found myself past few days getting caught up in unreal. And this was very helpful reminder to of the tools that you've been teaching us to separate myself from that. So that was very helpful. Thank you.
Yes, she is saying that it is acting as a reminder. So even if the mind reminds us what is false in the real, this mind cannot go fall into anxiety and do it. And you see, what we experience, the background of Charlie is false, but it appears real. This is what happens. How are you, John?
Hey, Girish. I'm fine. I think I dozed off.
You do that.
I think I did. Yeah.
No, it's okay. Dozing off the journey is okay. But we never doze off when it comes to the money hack.
Right.
So means we are more attached there than here. We have to think. How are you, Anne? I don't hear you. Unmuted.
Oh, I have problems with the network. Because most of the time the whole screen was black.
Oh,
And then I had to give in my my code again, and then I have few, but the others I don't see them. It's on and off.
okay.
So there is a problem with the network, but I heard you, yeah.
Ah, you heard
And
me.
I did meditation. I just was doing it by ear, the whole thing. Now John came on and the others are black. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
I did the meditation and I really feel my brain got blank, so which was good.
Very good. Yes. Blank
So and now
good.
see, how do I repair my computer? Anybody?
Ah, yes. I repair the mind and you repair the computer.
Sure, I'm the specialist. I'm such a computer idiot. I cannot believe it. Okay,
Yeah, one
I
good
don't.
thought is coming to my mind. What is that good thought? It is the Anne who introduced you all to me and me to you. And we continued the journey. So definitely, first, you should be thankful to them. And second is that obviously we have been a seeker. We have been consistently listening and attending this session. So at one level, we are already a seeker. But we have to raise the bar. We have to move to the next level. That is required. Like almost in every session, Meet says, wow, such a beautiful experience. So what happens in the next 6 days? We go down and we raise again. No, we have to raise the bar. That is all for today. Thank you very much. Namaste.